future Philadelphia Eagle Micah Parsons is trying to save face and tell everybody that he believes the Dallas Cowboys are the best team in the NFC. But the truth is, we know what he really thinks about the Eagles losing Javon Hargrave and drafting Jalen Carter. Why don't you tell us, Micah?
I'm just so sick to my stomach right now. Not only does he have veteran
next to Fletcher Cox.
I just think the Eagles like Jordan, but I'm just sick. I'm just sick to my stomach right now.
Dallas still stinks. Kick Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. So day 2 of training camp has come to an end, and everything is going just about as perfect as you possibly could hope for the Philadelphia Eagles. This is why people like delusional Cowboy fans have to try to come up with excuses why the Eagles are not going to be good this year. But unfortunately for them, that's just not the truth. Now, we're going to get into it in a second, but before we do that, if you're new to the channel, you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, the most throttled Eagles content creator in all of the internet. If you've been subscribed for a while, I just want to thank you so much for all the support you give to me. It truly means a lot. Now, all I can say is, since the Eagles, the first day, they showed us that new logo, the current logo, and it had that giant E. Because for you guys that don't know, this logo is not just a face, it's also an E. You see the E in that? That is the specific reason why the Eagles have the eagle backwards and all the other teams have their logo going another way. Because of that. Ever since that logo came out, the first thing I saw was the E, not the face of the bird. And since then, I have been waiting for the moment that is coming. That is coming on Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern. Pause. I think I got to pause because of something I must have said, but I feel like there's a pause that needed to be said there. But Jeff McClain reported this earlier. The Pound Eagles have announced that the Kelly Green jerseys and merchandise will be available at Team Pro Shop stores on Monday, July 31st at 9 Eastern. And as you see, I wrote, I've waited 20 plus years for this moment because I couldn't figure out what was the exact amount because I can't remember what year, if it was 96 that the New Jerseys came out or whenever. But I have been waiting a long, long time for this moment. And I'm so excited. I think Sunday I might put out a buyer's. On Sunday I'm going to put out a Kelly Green jersey buyer's guide. And I'm going to tell you how you should think about this because I know a lot of people are saying, well, who do I get? What players do I get? I'm going to make it easy and tell you exactly what to do. That'll be out on Sunday. But me, my first jersey, my first Kelly Green current Eagles will be Devontae Smith. Without hesitation, without preparation, without compensation, without constipation. I am going Devontae Smith. No doubt about it. I cannot wait. This is going to be awesome. My wife is going to throw me out of the house. She's going to throw me out of the house. We are going to go bankrupt. I am going to buy like everybody's jersey. I just want everyone's jersey. It's going to be awesome. I've waited for this moment for a long, long time. And, you know, I've got to say, like, I really think, and I know a lot of people like the midnight green and stuff like that, but I really think that the Kelly Green is going to be a bigger seller. You know, I was watching the NFC Championship game on the NFL Network last night. It was on late, and I was watching it. And, you know, they had a shot, and I took a picture of the shot. And as you can see here, as Reddick is hitting Purdy, you look at the stadium, you look at the audience. Look at the amount in that audience of Kelly Green throwback logos, throwback uniforms. It is unbelievable. It's got to be 60% Kelly Green out there. People love the Kelly Green. People want it back. And I think the Eagles, I think they should strongly consider bringing it back full-time one day because it's going to be their biggest seller. The Kelly Greens are going to be monster sellers for the Philadelphia Eagles. I am so happy it's back. Even if I only get it twice a year, I get it twice a year. My guess is, what games are they going to wear the Kelly Green? I think they're going to wear it Christmas. I'm almost like 80% sure it's got to be that Giant game Christmas Day. So I'm thinking Christmas Day, and then maybe like I don't know, a primetime game or a Thursday game. But I'm definitely thinking it's got to be done at least on Christmas Day, right? Hopefully they wear it at least 3 times, like they wore the black helmets. But that would be really awesome. But one can only hope, you know? One can only hope. Now, the other thing I want to talk about real quick, and you know, I'm focusing on the Eagles. I'm focusing on training camp. I'm focusing on the good things. And of course, future Eagle Micah Parsons has to go out and has to talk about Dallas being the best team and whatever. And that's fine. You could talk about them being the best team in the conference. That's cool. But why do you have to bring up the Eagles? Why do you have to bring up the Eagles' name? Now, I'm truthfully, it doesn't really like trigger me. I'm not really upset about it. I mean, I think it's fair game because honestly, we just had Jalen Carter sit there and talk about how he wants to kill the Cowboys. He can't wait to crush them. He hates the Cowboys, and he wants to get in on the rivalry. He already said that, so it's fair game. You can go back and forth and stuff like that. I really don't have a problem with that so much. But for those that don't know what I'm talking about, this is what Micah Parsons said. Pound Cowboy star pass rusher Micah Parsons believes Dallas is in the top in the NFC. I think we are the top team in the NFC. No one can beat you except yourself. We didn't lose a Javon Hargrave and then draft somebody. We have everybody across the board. So what he's saying is because the Eagles lost Javon Hargrave, they aren't as good. But that's really not the truth of what Micah Parsons thinks. You all saw the clip at the intro. You saw the clip at the intro. Micah Parsons was visibly, physically upset, felt sick in his stomach when the Eagles drafted Jalen Carter because he knew what that meant, that the best overall prospect in the NFL draft just went to his rivals, okay? And the truth of the matter is this. The Cowboy fans like Mark Holmes, because Mark Holmes couldn't run. He couldn't wait to run. He ignoring me. He don't want anything to do with me. As soon as some Cowboy player breathes a little bit of confidence, he wants to run out and make a big deal of it. I have no problem with what Micah Parsons said because let's look what Jalen Carter said. So I'm not going to say anything. But the reaction is what I have to talk about. And the fact that if he really believed that, they just lost Hargrave, he wouldn't have felt so sick when they drafted Jalen Carter. That was the true reaction to Micah Parsons. And the fact of the matter is this. As soon as the Cowboys can get any false confidence, anything that gives them a small amount of hope, they run with it and try to milk it. Mark Holmes is trying to milk it. He's been ignoring me because every day I put the Cowboys in the proper context. And then he wants to call me out in a video. He put my name in the video title, so I have a right to respond. Now, here's the thing. Cowboys, they keep saying, well, the Eagles lost Hargrave, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, they lost their linebackers. They've lost too many players. They're not the same team. They're not going to be the same team. And I'm going to tell you, you're right. We're not the same team. We're going to be better. We're going to be better. That's the truth. The Eagles and Howie Roseman have done a miraculous job of replacing everybody that they've lost. And some of the players that they lost were on purpose because they felt that the players behind them were actually better. The Eagles felt Nakobe Dean was better than the linebackers they had. So they let them go. They let T.J. Edwards go. So Nakobe Dean is an upgrade in the Eagles' eyes. When you look at the safety position, this is the only position where I think you can literally say the Eagles have maybe not filled yet. However, when it comes to Javon Hargrave, the Eagles got the best prospect in the NFL draft. They went out and they got Jalen Carter. And if you get Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, and if those two guys give you production better than Hargrave combined, you've replaced Hargrave. And the way Jalen Carter has been dominating, the way Jalen Carter has gone out and killed it, I'm sorry. I hate to tell you, but the Eagles have gotten better than they were last year. They're actually, I think, in a stronger position than they were a year ago. The Cowboy fans and the Cowboys are relying on the Super Bowl slump for the Eagles to lose. Now, here's the thing with a Super Bowl hangover, a slump, right, the next year. The reason why so many teams go to the Super Bowl and then they lose and then they have a bad year the following year is basically, this is the reason why. I'm going to tell you. All right? The reason why is because when you play in a Super Bowl, you play late in the year. You're playing late into February. So what happens is a lot of these guys go throughout the season. They're banged up. They need certain surgeries. They need things done. And they have to wait till after the Super Bowl to do all those things. And by the time you get to training camp, a lot of those guys are still rehabbing the injury. They still haven't recovered. So a lot of times you get Super Bowl teams, especially the teams that lose, mentally it's harder for them when you have so many injuries and guys coming in that are injured. In 2017, we won the Super Bowl. When the Eagles returned to camp, we had our starting quarterback on. We had Fletcher Cox had just had surgery. All these guys were still coming back from surgery. The Eagles struggled out of the gate because we were so banged up. We were tired, banged up. This off-season shorter. However, if you remember that year, we got tougher and tougher as the season went on, and the Eagles started playing good football by the end of the year. The difference with the Eagles this year is this. The Eagles are healthy. This isn't a team coming in with a bunch of banged up players that have surgeries and stuff like that. Lane Johnson had a surgery. He's been cleared a long time ago. Okay, I trust Lane Johnson. Everybody else is healthy, is relatively healthy. That is why teams have Super Bowl hangovers, because they're usually beat up and they come in and they're tired, and early in the season it takes those teams too long to get going. The Eagles don't have that problem. They are healthy. Okay, the only people out of practice is Derek Barnett. He's limited in practice, and Avonte Maddox. He's got a big ass toe. Other than that, Hassan Reddick. He's got a slight groin. They said it's minor, and he'll be back next week. The Eagles are healthy, and that's the issue. And the other thing is Nick Sirianni is not letting this team have a hangover. If you've seen the way that he's yelling and going off on the players in camp, he's not going to allow that. So this myth and this idea that the Eagles lost too many players and have a Super Bowl hangover and it's going to open the door for the Dallas Cowboys is not real. It's not true. It's false narrative. And Mark Holmes is pushing you guys false information. And Micah Parsons is hoping, but in the truth, deep down inside, the future Eagle Michael Parsons, we know what he thinks. You saw him react to Jalen Carter. The truth is, he knows the Eagles are the best team in the National Football League, and we're going back to the Super Bowl. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat, and remember, it's how we vision. We're all just living in it. You know, it was interesting watching that NFC Championship game the other night. A couple things stood out. Marcus Epps stunk. He stunk, man. He couldn't tackle for crap. And then Blankenship, man, he made a couple really nice plays and really nice tackle. He made a great tackle on one-on-one on Deebo Samuel. I thought was fantastic. Actually caused the fumble. It was a fourth down play. I really think we got to watch Blankenship. Hopefully he could take the next step. Because, man, sometimes, I got to be honest, I kind of forgot what a hitter that guy is. What a hitter. The Eagles are better than they were a year ago. I'm very confident and comfortable in saying that. That's what I think. And deep down inside, Mark Holmes, he knows. He knows the same thing. Micah Parsons knows it. That's why he wants to be a future Eagle. Denzel Washington out.
Oh, God. No. I want to be like the Eagles.